Hi, I am at my first day of week 5 in the private practice placement. So by the end of this week, I will have completed half of it. I will have also completed a halfway assessment that I've been beavering away on. So for Coventry Uni, we've got something called Pebble Pad, but we've got to house our evidence and stuff. So I used a study day to write loads of things and put things in places on that so that I've got lots of evidence of the things that I've been up to, really. So I find that being a student and being on practice placement, we have two jobs. One of them is to do the job and to do the job well enough, but also be open to many, many learning opportunities because, of course, it isn't our actual job. And then the other job is being a student. Um, I'm better at the first one. I'm much better at getting involved, learning by doing, just doing the stuff, doing the things, which is unsurprising as an occupational therapy apprentice student. Of course, that's my preferred style of whatevering. So it's always the studenty bit for me that is not an afterthought, but I have to maybe make myself think about it more, whereas I'm too busy just getting on with the doing the stuff and the learning the things, which is the bit, the bit I enjoy the most, really. Um, so that's where we're at with like the studenty journey. Podcast wise, I'm really excited because now things have taken shape. Matt and I went to the studio last week with our producer Rodri, and I have audio edited 3 episodes, 2 of which are finished. One I want out this week. That's what I want to happen. Been waffling on about the podcast for weeks, and now we have the produce, and I'm proud of it. I'm asking my inner perfectionist to really shut up because there's tiny little bits in all of them that I'm like, oh, could have done this better, or that sounds a little bit like that, or whatnot. But I'm reminding myself that I'm a student and I'm not here to be a professional kind of radio presenter or producer. I think the product is certainly good enough. And I need to move on as well. There's a couple more podcasts I want to make or that will be in the making. And there's lots of other bits and bobs now in terms of the practice placement that need my attention as well. So I'm proud of it, and it'll be great to get it out there and see what people think, and then go to the next stage of the whole like releasing and whatnot. So I'm super excited for people to hear it, like super, super, super duper excited to hear it. So coming to headphones near you will be the podcast, or one of them this week. So yay. Cool. What else am I thinking about? I'm reflecting on the differences between a private practice and any kind of organization where we're therapists within. And something that I personally just adore about any private practice, and this is the same with my psychotherapy private practice, is that there is a simplicity about the referral process. So, what I mean by that is in private practice, you get people who refer themselves directly to you and they say, oh, I want therapy, be it occupational therapy, be it psychotherapy. You have a chat with them, you figure out if your service is right for them and if you're the right person to support them, help them, etc. And then, if that's all, yeah, if it all makes sense and stuff, then they book, you do the therapy. You do the therapy for as long or as short as they want. End of. Beginning and end. I love it. The simplicity. And I think what I particularly like about the simplicity of that process is that you spend more of your time in private practice doing the therapy with the individuals, groups, or communities that have requested the therapy because it's a direct request. So, this is across the board. I'd say in statutory services, there is more politics. We all know this. It's not a surprise. I'm not saying anything new here. And what I find, and again, this is true of counselling and occupational therapy, so I'm always comparing, and it's interesting to do that because I'm part of these two professions that are different but have similar overlaps. You get a lot of other people, be it other professionals, be it family members, be it whoever, who think therapy, whatever therapy, will be a great idea for their whatever, or they have to do therapy. So what happens is in statutory services, I would say a significant amount of time is spent trying to understand if that referral is suitable and appropriate, and if the person has any idea that a referral has been made. That is like someone's bright idea over here, and often people don't actually talk to people and say, hey, you know what? I think, either from a professional point of view or a personal point of view, you really benefit from some therapy, and here's where you can get it from. Again, be it OT or counselling. Those conversations don't happen. So anyone watching this, if you recognise this or you're in statutory services, you'll be going, yeah, like, and it's that really isn't okay. Um, so yeah, as I'm saying, like a lot of time is spent in statutory services kind of figuring out, does this person actually want this? Have they consented to it? Is it even intrusive me making contact with them and saying, oh, by the way, someone else's bright idea was, because that can be incredibly unsettling. So I'm enjoying the fact that private practice doesn't have that, um, doesn't have that at all. There isn't any of that there, and I'm feeling, to be honest, like significant relaxation of the fact that I know all the people that I'm talking to have maybe already an understanding of, with this placement, occupational therapy, and that's something that they want, and then they pay for it. And we devise really person-centered goals and a plan and a therapy intervention or whatever it is for the individual right from the very get-go. And that's what time spent doing. And that's what I want to do, of course. I feel, I don't want to speak for every therapist, but I feel most therapists want to do therapy, and that's the thing that they're interested in, doing the therapy with the people. um I feel that what the occupational therapy profession has not done effectively yet is articulate what occupational therapy is. So I feel that people have a better understanding of physiotherapy, of psychotherapy, but not what occupational therapy is. And therefore, what I worry about as a profession is that it gets shoehorned into other various like things and bits and bobs, like, yes, hospital discharge, I'm looking at you, but also other things and other organisations, kind of more social worky if you're in social services, hospital discharge maybe in hospitals, or more physio. And it's like, what I would love, being new going into this profession, is for occupational therapy to claim itself. We're therapists, we want to do therapy, and that needs to be protected. And I'm passionate about this. Oh, I'm getting all like excitable now, because it's an access issue. If occupational therapy doesn't protect itself as a legitimate and valuable therapy service, such as physio, such as psychotherapy, people do not get access to it. It's as simple as that, because the therapists are busy doing other random stuff that, yeah, we're good at, because OT is great problem solvers and all that. I call it people project management. That's what it is. Like person-centered project management. That's what I conceptualize OT as. So I want us to step in and make claim of therapy so that people can get it, and people can get more of a genuine representation of therapy, and really go for it and achieve their dreams and stuff like that. So that's been my thought process. So some kind of like political things there, I reckon, in terms of organisations. I know that one of my criteria is, yeah, how does the occupational therapy role fit within the placement service? And that is what I'm thinking, is it's purer occupational therapy, because the people at the beginning generally already have an understanding of what it is, and they're the ones making the referrals for themselves. There's also other differences. For example, so the occupational therapy journey in this placement could start with something like a social media post. So instead of, again, like a referral from another professional, although they may also happen too, it's maybe there's a connectability with an audience, if you like, or a community in a different way. So that's something I've been pondering. And that's it. See you soon.